Hi everyone, welcome to Anti-Workers United. Today we have an AMA with Master Key Finance. So let's get started by having any of the team members introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their background in the real world in crypto, like what their professional life is like, any work experience that could be helpful to running a project, and we'll go from there.
Hey, you're all lucky today. You got me, Jay, CEO and owner, founder of Master Key Finance. A little bit about myself. Hey, I've been on the crypto scene since about 2016-17 time frame. About the time that it hit probably its all-time high. Hey, I've had the wins, I've had the losses, I've rode the peaks and have been in the valleys. And really, we're bringing something forward to this space. It's going to be revolutionary. We firmly believe that. A lot of good partnerships and stuff happening. We'll get into that in a minute. A little bit about my background. I'm a veteran. I got about 25 years of engineer experience, so numbers is my game. I got a great team. A little fact about our team, we're fully KYC'd and docs through anti-docs. Third-party audits complete on the platform. So, my team, though, we're 100% USA-based. And another little unknown niche is that we're all veterans, to include my lead dev. So a real tight-knit team. I'm going to bring something powerful forward to DeFi, and I can't wait to talk about it today.
All right, awesome. So you mentioned you are an engineer. Would you mind telling me what kind?
Advanced mathematics. So being about my veteran background, anything from bridging to explosives. So you could use your imagination there.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's probably why I like the numbers too, because I'm also, in a similar field. And it's all for us for investing, for trading. It really all comes down to numbers, right? Because
absolutely, man. Math is never going to lie.
Yeah, if a shit idea could be profitable and an awesome idea could make you lose money depending what the numbers are, right? So
absolutely.
All right, awesome. Let's move on. So you said you're KYC'd and doxed. Where is the info available? Because I don't see it on your website. It says like coming soon.
Yeah. So it's there, right? So the only thing that's coming soon to our website is actual photos. But it's on our Telegram. It's posted there. It's on pretty much all our socials. So we were KYC and docs through AnyDocs. That's the platform we chose to go with. And let me tell you what, there's a lot of crackerjack box type KYC systems out there, but these guys are legit. And I was really surprised by their granularity of background investigation, and it made me feel good to actually display their certificates. So yeah, AnyDocs is who we went through.
Okay. So I haven't really looked at Telegram, but you said all the information, the doc, so I could go look over there and get your real name and everything. And
absolutely.
Okay, so you guys registered also, registered company?
Yeah, so we are an LLC in the United States, out of the state of South Carolina.
All right, so I know that I know what. By the way, I'm hearing feedback when I'm speaking. It might be, I think it's your mic. So are you like on a laptop or on a cell phone?
I'm on a cell phone.
Okay, that's probably why. So can you try to mute yourself when you're not talking so we don't get that feedback?
Yep, no worries.
All right, cool, thanks. Yeah, so like the thing about LCs in the US, I mean, even I've been in IDOs where they try to go by the book and they require KYC, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, but they don't allow USA, right? Because of USA regulations, and the USA, I guess, supposedly does try to protect, their citizens from scams, but it also makes it a lot harder to actually invest. So there's a lot of, loopholes or hoops you have to jump through to even, be registered in the US and deal with crypto. So did you have like a lot of hurdles, and how did you overcome them? Because I feel like that's very unique to have USA registered company that's KYC'd, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest with you. There's loopholes you could drive a damn transfer truck through, right? So many of my counterparts take some kind of off island approach to kind of I guess you would say violate, but to find a workaround, if you will. No, man, we're an established LLC in the United States. We chose the state of South Carolina because the State Department House in the state of South Carolina has already voted to not regulate cryptocurrency or digital currencies at all. So we kind of took that route from a federal regulation standpoint. Being a DeFi, there's not a whole lot there, to be honest with you. There's more assumptions and fear mongering than anything. But with the legal teams and whatnot, and the guidance that I've given is, let's be right and be first when that regulation does in fact happen. So really, that's the approach that we're taking. Taking every step the right way. Going to pay our taxes. That's another big benefit for being, an out of the country type approach, is you can dodge a lot of those legal tax loopholes. But I'm ponying up, man. I'm gonna pay Uncle Sugar his due. I'm gonna do everything the right way. And when regulatory works down to the DeFi space and they're ready to have that conversation, I hope to be pulling the first chair up to the table. It's coming. Sooner or later, it's going to come. It's going to hit us right in the throat. And either you're ready to roll with that punch or you're going to get knocked the hell out. And we plan on being right there in the front seat to have that conversation and to meet those requirements ahead of time, hopefully. But if not, be able to make those adjustments to be fully within the guidance of the SEC when and if they choose to do fully regulate crypto.
Yeah, but isn't there like a requirement for US, if you're dealing with USA customers, that they will have, basically they need KYC? Because I think even KuCoin is one of the ones that doesn't really require KYC, and that's because it's technically offshore and it's kind of looking the other way. But a lot of other exchanges like that don't require KYC, at least for a little bit of withdrawals, let's say like Binance, but even they don't allow US, so you have to use a VPN, so you could get around it with using VPN without KYC. But KuCoin, I guess, since they're technically not in the US anyways, and they probably don't care about that. So I'm just thinking, if you do allow like US customers, wouldn't you have to do something similar with all these regulations? Like you basically can't allow USA.
So I'm not a KEX, a DEX, or a wallet. So I got a lot more liberties, if you will. The only, I guess you would say, hamstring would be for the private sale investors, which that's a vetted group. Those questions are asked, yes. But once we're live, because it's a crypto investment and not necessarily a form of an on and off ramp, if you will, I don't have those requirements. If that makes sense.
All right. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's go talk about the project, though. And that's called Master Key Finance, and I've been talking to some, devs in the space. And DeFi, not like tokens in a sense, but basically DeFi tokens like APY, APR, like 10,000% or whatever APY type tokens. Those are kind of dead because they're all basically memes. And so the only thing that's really like around is going to probably survive, at least at this point in time, is actual real utilities, real use cases, not just like Ponzi type schemes where you're going to get 10,000% a year or a billion% a year. None of that has been shown to be ineffective, and like it doesn't really make any money for investors. So I'm just like hit us with it. Like, what do you guys are all about?
It's the first time I've ever sat down and talked with you, and they said you were good, but man, you're damn good, and you're absolutely right. Any token or any coin for that matter that launches without a real use case or utilities live at launch, that's no shit bringing something forward to the space, is absolutely a Ponzi scheme. There's no way, there's no work around that. You're running on dreams and wishes and hoping that people keep throwing money at it, so the guys who got in at it first still get paid. You're absolutely right. And without real case use and utility, you are a meme token, right? You're a baseball card. You're worth what somebody's willing to give for it, and it don't do nothing. That's one of the problems in this space, and one of the problems we want to fix. So I'm going to give you the 30,000-foot view of Master Key Finance. Coming into the space with the core team, we looked at it and said, okay, hey, what do we bring into the space and why? Well, our root, I guess you would say, reason for existence is always to solve problems within crypto. Well, two of the problems we've seen is, and you kind of touched on it, there's some good platforms out here that provide some damn good case use and utility. For whatever reason, bad marketing, stovepipe marketing, FUD, that their relevance and value is not well known. And the other thing is from a holder standpoint, I mean, we're all holders. I've been a holder for a while, some serious platforms, some of the ones you mentioned. And you're also right about the APY, APR game. I don't know anybody who's held the same token for a year. Very rare, unless you died or lost your seed phrase. That just don't happen. For the most part, people don't hold their token that long. So the APY, that's snake oil and smoke and mirrors, you're absolutely right. So how do we put the power back into the holder's hands was the second thing we thought about. So Master Key will give value to other tokens and will put the power back into the holder's hands in every case, use, and utility we bring forward. And we'll get into that when you're ready.
Okay, yeah. Tell us about the utilities. What do you get? What they all will be doing? Because I see, with tokenomics, the big thing with the token itself is the 10% rewards, and there's a lot of other breakdown for taxes. So these rewards have to come from volume, right? So how will you generate the volume? Like, what is what the company itself? Like, what are you guys all about?
Absolutely, man. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. We're a 20% buy, 20% sell, no transfer tax token. And I want everybody to understand that. Yes, that is a high tax, but it's a high tax by design and for a reason. If it's too high, I ask you just keep right on walking, right? That's fine. But at the end of the day, Master Key is going to be on the tip of everybody's tongue by 2023. And here's why. We're going to provide a platform known as the Master Portal. Think of a place where a user can go to either trade or sell their token for what they want at the value that they ask for. Example, you have token X in your portfolio. You gave 100 BUSD for token X 6 months ago. Today, token X is worth $55 or 55 BUSD for the same amount that you gave 100 BUSD 6 months ago. You can load it onto the platform. You can ask for 100 BUSD or 100 BUSD worth of BNB, and I'm going to facilitate that to happen. Now, you're going to ask yourself, why would I go give 100 BUSD for a token that I can buy for 55 BUSD on Name Your Random Dex? I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to reward the entire process, and this is another workaround the regulations. Because there's a flat rate fee coming in, there's a flat earning every day, I'm going to reward the process. So token X is going to earn a 1-to-1 match, not to exceed 10 million a day for the individual that made that listing, as long as that listing is listed. Simultaneously, I'm placing a bounty. The bounty will be exactly half of whatever the reward is. So if they max it out at 10 million, the bounty is going to be 5 million. That'll grow by that much every day. Sooner or later, that bounty is going to be high enough that somebody's going to be willing to give that 100 BUSD for token X, thus completing the transaction process. They can have a drop-down list of tokens they can choose to trade for, or they can go for a BNB straight across the board. Now, there is an in and out fee into the portal. The in fee is 10 million Master Key tokens, which is basically 1 day's worth of rewards, and $3 of BNB, which goes to the rewards pool and a bunch of other functions within the contract. This thing will reward, and I know we've said 4 to 5 forms or flows of revenue in BUSD. It's actually 6 to 7, and that's just with the first two utilities, and my third utility will come out in February. The other utility that's coming out, going to be live at launch, is called soft staking. I'll explain that one for a minute. So soft staking is a form of, hey, I got this token in my portfolio. I don't want to get rid of this token. I plan on holding on to it for a couple years or a couple more months or whatever the case may be. On the soft staking platform, you can go into the platform and stake that token and earn Master Key tokens for as long as you want on the same ratio of a 1-to-1 match, not to exceed 10 million a day for as long as you want to hold it in there. And when you pull it out, you get the Master Key tokens that get to come with it. Pretty phenomenal, pretty state of the art, to be honest with you. It's going to create a lot of internal revenue, a lot of internal volume. And what it's important to mention, man, is this thing was built in a bear market to perform in a bear market. A lot of people ask me why December 10th, why you launching then? What about market conditions? I am mildly entertained by market conditions, and I'm going to be honest with you, because this thing's going to perform regardless. I'm not worried about that. When it's 75 degrees and sunny outside in the bull run, this thing's going to take the hell off. But until then, I want to be that token, maybe not the primary token in everybody's portfolio, but absolutely the token that they keep in their pocket. So when things are bad or they need to move something or they have that option, it's absolutely there to do so.
All right, thank you. And can you explain a little bit more about the bounty and how it's going to be funded, and what will be, and how will you guys be able to do that, or like a step by step, like an example? Let's say token XYZ, like you were saying, is someone bought it at $100 per token. Now it's like $20 per token. And can you maybe like give like an example of from step A to step Z, how it's going to be, basically where that money's going to come from, how the bounty's going to work, how it's collected, how basically the whole process, to make it a little bit easier to understand?
Hey, absolutely. So in a nutshell, what's going to happen is, so when token X is posted into the portal, I say, okay, I have token X, I'm going to post it into the portal. You're going to get an option. What are you asking for token X? Are you asking for a BNB? If so, how much? Totally on the holder to name that price. Do you want a certain token? If you do, how many for your tokens that you're posting? Totally, again, on the holder. They name their price, name their rate, the whole nine. You're not going to be held to an algorithm. Now, the reward process is, there's two buckets there that get attached to token X. First bucket is the reward bucket to the individual who's actually making the listing. That's a 1-to-1 match, not to exceed 10 million a day. So if they max it out, list 10 million of token X, they're going to get 10 million master key tokens a day. The bounty is exactly half of whatever that reward is. If they list 10 million, bounty will be 5 million. If they list 2 million, bounty will be 1 million. So it's exactly half of whatever the reward is by design. Now, all of those master key tokens that are getting rewarded are coming from the staking pool already established in the tokenomics, 15% or 150 trillion. It's also going to be sustained by buys and sells, with a percentage going to the staking pool to maintain the staking pool. I don't foresee that being an issue by no means, especially with the aggressive buyback and burn functions that we do have going on simultaneously. So to make that listing, you have to pay 10 million master key tokens and $3 in BNB. That 10 million master key tokens is instantly burnt. It's sent to the burn wallet to be burned off the contract. So that the value increasing with not only the buys and sells doing a buyback and burn, but also the functionalities of the token within the utilities doing buyback and burn. The value of master key is going to go up exponentially and exponentially quick. As far as the bounty and the rewards of master key, that's the cool part. So the master portal, it will have all these master key tokens being awarded to all these separate tokens, X through Z, Y, whatever. And they're going to earn rewards daily. Well, all of these rewards are collected into a separate rewards distributor within the portal that will be paid out daily. And here's the best part about it, man. I don't care what your holdings are of master key when it comes to the portal. If 10% gets paid out to all holders of master key, I'm dividing the holders, and each one of them are going to get an equal percentage. I don't care how big your bag is. If you have 500 billion or more and you qualify for that 25% drop of that daily rewards, which is pretty daggum enticing, I don't care if you have 501 billion or 25 trillion. Fact of the matter is, I'm going to take everybody above 500 billion and divide that, and you're all going to get a portion of that 25%. So it's pretty lucrative, pretty awesome, kind of a little bit of an anti-well mechanism, kind of in a way, but the volume and movement of tokens it's going to create is phenomenal. We help out other platforms because when you log on to the portal, you can literally browse and see what's in there. It's going to make you want to read and look and check these things out. Maybe you have a token there that, you're enticed by the master key token bounty, because we're going to highlight the highest bounty or whatnot. You can search by bounty size, contract address, logo. It'll all be there. But it's going to make you look at tokens that maybe you didn't know existed. Maybe you didn't know their case use and utility. And we're partnering with platforms to kind of showcase a few, to kind of get them out there and let them be seen. Like I said, it's a win for the holder. It's a win for the buyer. It's a win for other platforms, and absolutely a win for MasterKey as well.
Okay, so like honestly, like I feel like at least my issue with this is still a little bit hard to follow or at least visualize the whole, basically the money train, how it's all being circulated in here. So if you guys had a diagram, or maybe add that in the future to the white paper, like, people buying tokens, 20% goes here, here, and there, goes to this bucket. And I think it'll help visualize just how the whole system works to being able to understand it. Because even now, I'm still a little bit, like confused exactly how it's sustainable in a way.
Okay, I hear you, but what part are you confused about?
Just basically like the whole thing. Let's say, okay, so let's say I have a token, right? So I'm losing on it. I paid $1,000, bought a certain amount of tokens. It's down to $500, and I listed on your platform, right? Right. So I listed, and then I have to pay a certain amount of tokens, like the 10 million, or there's a fee associated. How does it work, basically? Like, and what am I gonna get from it with the whole bounty and everything? Like, how am I gonna get more than the $500 that it's worth out of it?
Okay, so you post this hypothetical token. You say you won $1,000 in BNB, correct?
Yeah, let's just say I'm down to 500, but I actually bought it for 1,000, let's say, like a week ago or something.
Okay, you need to make a net gain of $500 on this damn hypothetical token, correct?
Yeah.
All right. How many are you posting?
How many what?
How many tokens?
Let's say 1 million tokens.
All right. So the minute you post it, I'm going to reward you 1 million tokens a day of MasterKey tokens just for posting it. I'm going to place a bounty against it for 500,000, 500,000 that is going to grow by that increment a day as a bounty. At any time you can terminate, and if you choose to terminate, you reap the benefits of all those MasterKey tokens. That's a win on your side. If the transaction's complete, you let it stay in there long enough that the bounty gets high enough that it entices somebody to give the asking price, it completes the transaction. You still get the reward of MasterKey tokens, but you also get the asking price, both sent directly from your wallet in one transaction as soon as the buyer submits the payment.
Well, why would someone pay the bounty? Let's say for a token that's not worth what for the $1,000 when it's only worth 500. Basically, the bounty has to be worth at least $500 for them to be profitable, right?
Absolutely, 100% concur, or have the potential.
So how would the bounty grow to that $500 to where someone could actually break even or make a profit?
It grows by that increment every single day.
Just from the rewards.
The longer it stays, the larger the bounty.
But what's to incentivize you guys to be offering these tokens?
What's that?
What's the incentive for you guys, for the project, to be offering these tokens and also offering the bounty? Because it seems like it's going to drain funds from the master key.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't understand why you would say that.
No, because someone posts, like I post my token for it's $500. I want 1,000 for it. For someone to be able to claim the bounty, it has to be worth about 1,000, right? So you guys will be providing the tokens as a bounty, and the tokens have to accumulate somehow and grow in value to the point where it's worth that $1,000. So what's the mechanism for it to grow? And basically what I'm saying is, if it's money that you're paying in tokens to the bounty, how are you getting money back in a way? Because basically you're just losing $500 worth of tokens.
I have no doubt, and I fully anticipate for somebody to ask an outlandish amount for a token. I got no doubt that's going to happen. I anticipate it. But the fact of the matter is, as long as the tokens are still in the portal, they've not been awarded to anyone. The portal itself is a holder, I guess you could say. But if it's not a completed transaction, or if you get tired of waiting for your $1,000, if you will, those tokens get removed and go straight back to the staking pool. They're not in your wallet until the transaction is completed. Now they are receiving rewards while they're in the portal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the bounty is also receiving rewards, right?
Yes, the reward and the bounty are receiving rewards.
Yeah. So I'm saying, what's the incentive for you to be offering these tokens to someone posting? Like, what do you guys get out of it? Is it marketing or
Oh, don't get me
basically
wrong.
what's the drive?
I'm not going to get rich out of this deal by no means. I'm providing a service for the holder. This is a workaround to a KEX and a DEX. This is something different than you saying your only option is to sell those tokens for $500. That is your only option. Without a platform like this, you have no other option. Maybe you work a side drug deal with somebody else somewhere that you may not trust. This is a secure third-party platform in order to do that transaction.
Okay,
That's
so
what I'm providing. I mean, that's the
basically I could
problem with
just
this space, right? Everybody's so
yeah.
hell-bent on making money that they're not providing a real service. I'm not chasing a dollar, man. I'm trying to provide a service. And if I'm capable to provide it and it to be successful, I'm going to make money in the end. It won't be a flood at one time, don't get me wrong. But as long as there's problems in the crypto space, I'm going to have longevity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of trying to see how it will be sustainable, because it's almost like a charity. That's the way, at least it's the way I'm seeing it. Someone lost some money or they got rugged, they're gonna post a token to get their initial back out of it, I guess.
Well, not every
And
token is going to be authorized into the portal. I'm not going to load a rug token on the portal.
Okay, so it still depends on
Only
being
tokens that are
approved and
whitelisted
whatnot.
are authorized to get on the portal. Every
Okay.
token is vetted through my VIP advisory council, which is made up of my private sale investors. And then it's attacked, that contract code is attacked by my dev team. At that point in time, based off the DAO, somebody says, hey, we want this token. Based off that point in time, that token to be authorized to be traded, sold, and bought in the portal.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm not going to you've been in this space for a while. You seem like a smart guy. A guy with an iPhone 14 and in 3 days in the woods can come up with a token.
Oh yeah, well, honestly, you could do that in 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
All you got to do is copy something that's generated off of like a pre-generated token, change 3 lines of code, change the name, and that's all.
Absolutely. And with the other utilities that are coming in on the backside, I am not worried about the sustainability of this platform. Not even the least bit. And every algorithm we've ran. Of course, I'm not going to display my secret sauce yet. It's not time for that. But I will tell you this. I will give value to tokens and give, quality gratitude where it's due to other platforms. I'm going to give them visibility. Absolutely. I'm going to increase their volume and holder count just by using this platform.
So what would be like the driving or the engine that's going to provide volume because to make money other than the price going up, the big thing is here the taxes, where 10% for buys and sells is going to go to holders. So the rewards is like the big draw, right? So for that to happen, you need some good amount of volume, but the bigger the tax is, the lower the trade volume. So that's why there's some kind of fine line or whatever between, let's say, 5% tax, 15% tax, where the lower the tax, the more volume you have. So it might actually generate more profits overall. Let's say to have half the tax but triple the volume. It's kind of hard to judge or get the most profitable tax, right? For example, you could have 99% tax where you literally making a shit ton, but no one's going to sell or buy, right? Or you go the other way around where you have 0% tax and you could have crazy amount of volume, but you're not going to make any money off of it. So somewhere in the middle between 0% and 99% is where the appropriate or the most cost-effective tax is for XYZ project.
I guess to answer your question, the difference between my platform and any other platform out there is my holders will always be in the driver's seat. They will be the first ones that get paid in every decision and every utility I got. Hell, 75% of my gross revenue from merchandise goes to the holders. everything that the holders do is first and foremost in the seat. Some of the utilities I have coming out, 50% of the revenue is going to go to holders. No, those ain't ready for Main Street yet. But my utility 3 will come out in February. Utility 4 will come out in about May, June timeframe.
Is there any news on these utilities, or basically that's because my question was what's going to be generating the volume other than just the trading itself?
That's the trading itself. But you have to own the token to play in the utilities. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to bring up is the tax, 20% buy and sell, and also the rewards. It's very similar to one of our partners, Reward Miner. Are you familiar with them?
Oh yeah. Are you familiar
And,
with what's going on with them?
oh yeah, actually just today before the AMA, I just honestly like I went to go look up the chart because I was like, because this white paper reminded me of Reward Miner with the BUSD rewards and the high tax, and then I looked at the chart and it seems they got hacked, and that literally just happened right before the AMA. So I was trying to figure out what's going on, help them out a
Yeah,
little
my
bit.
dev's
But
been digging into it for over an hour now.
so are you guys using some of the similar devs?
Not at all. I have an entirely U.S. based dev team that does contracted and auditing work. So no.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to figure out, but it seems it's not only an issue with them. Well, anyways, my thing is, I know you guys are partner of Well Finance and Reward Miners partner of Well Finance, right? So you guys, I'm sure, probably know about each other, and so
Absolutely.
the main thing I wanted to bring up was the 20% tax. If you have a high tax, your volume is going to be very low because people do not want to sell. They can't really trade a token that you could only break even after a 40% price increase. It's hard to trade something, unless the liquidity is really low and it's just super volatile, like, 5x plus 5x one day minus 5x the next day. But if it's going to be fairly steady, like a million market cap, 2 million market cap, whatever, it's not just going to go to like 3, 4, 5 million overnight, right? So like, especially the higher the liquidity, the higher the market cap, the harder it would be to trade a token with the high tax. So do you have anything that will help with this?
Absolutely. I mean, my private sale investors of a total of almost 240 trillion tokens are vested for 6 months. And these are real guys in the space, man. I mean, Travelad has bought into the private sale of this token. We've got ambassadors that find real value in this. This is shaking up the space, especially with the ongoing problems that we're having with KEXs and the ability for DEXs to break out. This is the workaround of both platforms. This is a place to go to trade your token and get rewarded for doing so. If you want to utilize the utilities, you got to own Master Key. You're right. The ones that own it up front are not going to want to get rid of it, and hell, I wouldn't blame them. But if you want to get into the system, you got to own it. That's going to create the volume. The chatter is going to be out there. This thing's already rocking the boat from around the globe already. Significant ambassadors, significant marketing plans. I mean, this thing is really, if it was such a bad idea, it's almost, I have been approached 3 times to have big guys buy this platform to stop it from existing. So, no, I think it's something powerful. I think the volume is going to be there. I absolutely see it. And so do these.
Why not sell it and just do the exact same thing?
Why would you?
You could use that money for the project.
I'm not after the money. That's the problem with this space. Clearly, you like to go after the money, but I like to take care of the holders. That's the problem with the space.
Well, honestly, if you knew about the projects we have, then you'll know that it's not all about the money. Because we actually, how you saying about, no one really holds for 1 year in this space? Well, we have 2 tokens, and one of them launched roughly about a year ago, where most of the guys in our community are still holding since day 1.
Congratulations.
And then actually the developers are losing money because unlike most projects where developers are selling tokens, dumping, we're actually the ones buying up the chart, buying up the tokens, accumulating, because we believe in the long term. It's not a token for us to sell. Exactly. Same as any real company would be doing when they're doing buybacks like Amazon, Tesla, or anyone else.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just saying, like, like there are holders, and if they believe in, it's really not even about the team. I mean, it's not really about the use case or the project. It's really about the people we have to believe in.
True statement.
Because you could have the best project or the best idea. Hell, you could copy someone else, and if you're an idiot doesn't know what the hell they're doing, or you're a scammer, then no one's gonna make money with you. But
True statement.
if you're actually an honest person, when you have integrity, and you're trying to do something right in this space, and that's the kind of people you want to believe in.
True statement.
All right, let's go talk a little bit about the distribution. So this is all 100% tokens, right? This is basically the pie chart. So I see private sales a big chunk. I don't know if I click on it. It doesn't have percentages. Anyways, it seems roughly about 1/3. Pre-sales about 1/3. So can you tell us about currently what has been going on here? You said private sale has already happened.
Yeah, I've got about 13 remaining positions in the private sale. But like most other platforms, those are hand-selected individuals. Or they come to me. I've gone to very few, but they'll come to me and they'll talk and they'll find out. Have you done your homework? Like I mentioned TravelAd. That's an individual. That's an investor that actually does their homework. They don't go off of emotions or assumptions. They actually do their homework. And I couldn't be prouder to have him on the team. So he bought into the private sale. That's an example. A lot of key players in this space, several key players on other platforms have been invited on and have bought into the private sale. We got a strong, and they make up my VIP advisory council. So anything this platform does, any idea we have or decision we got to make going forward, first and foremost, we had that conversation with our advisory council. They got the pulse check on the community. They're able to tell us what's being done across the space because they're on every platform and tell us what they think. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm proud of the private sale. There's probably not a firmer base on a platform than what I've established in Master Key, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Okay, awesome. So let's go over the numbers real quick with the private sale. So I see here it says 1 BNB is 600 billion tokens. Max is 5 BNB with 80 max slots. It said there's about 10 slots left over. So how close are you to getting to that 400 BNB hard cap? Because it says there's a max slot amount and there's also a max BNB amount, right? So if everyone just put in 1 BNB, then you'd be still far off. But if everyone did 5 BNB, then you'd be very close to what the 400 BNB total is.
Are you talking about private sale or pre-sale?
Yeah, private sale.
So private sales, 80 slots at 5 BNB, 240 trillion tokens, 3 trillion tokens per person.
Yeah. What's the current situation? You said there's 10 slots left. So what's the BNB value currently for private sale?
What's the BNB value or what we've
No, not value. How much has been raised?
I don't about 320 BNB.
Okay, so most people did the max. Yeah, max by 5 BNB.
Choice. Minimum and
oh, it's only. Oh, okay.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Minimum max.
Okay, yeah.
So if
I wasn't sure if it's like 1 through 5 or okay. Okay, so it has to be 5. Okay, that's clear. 600 billion tokens per BNB. Pre-sale is 350. So basically, private sale is
the way to go.
Up 2x.
Pretty much.
Roughly from pre-sale. So it's 100% vested.
100% vested. However, they do receive full rewards at launch.
Okay, so they'll be getting the 20% total for buy and sell, 10% each.
Yep.
So the value of tokens will be higher, but they can't sell. So if you do like a 10x, they can't really capitalize on that, but the pre-sales can.
Yes.
Can make sense.
I have a total of 400 pre-sale slots, no tax. Minimum buy-ins 1 BNB, max buy-ins 5. Do the math. The first 185 could technically max it out. There's 2 1,000 BUSD prizes during the whitelist sales, If you buy 2 BNB or more, you qualify for one prize. If you buy 3 BNB or more, you qualify for both prizes. Just to kind of spice it up, it's only for the whitelisters. I truly expect the whitelist to go extremely fast, probably in the seconds, and then we'll kind of figure it out. So I'm going to assume, and my assumption is probably anywhere between 250 to 300 holders from the whitelist that'll be eligible for the 1,000 BUSD prize. We're currently going through whitelist giveaways. I think we're at about half have been given away, and we're going to give away some from this AMA as well. So if they show up to the Telegram and say, "Hey, I'm from Anti-Ruggers AMA. I want a whitelist spot," they're going to get one if they're one of the first 10. So we'll see what happens from this AMA.
All right, cool. So when is that happening? When's pre-sale?
Pre-sale will be exclusive on Novation, and it will be on the 10th of December at 10 a.m.
And I see that LP lock is a percentage. I don't know, roughly, I don't know, 60, 70%.
Yeah, so we're doing 50% of our LP is going to be on Novation. 50% of our LP is going to be on Pancake.
Okay.
The LP pools will be 300 BNB and 85 trillion tokens, respectively.
So normally, you know, with the private sale and pre-sale, the private sale is kind of used to you know, have funds for utility, for development, for marketing pre-sale, and it's usually a lot smaller than pre-sale, right? So let's say, I don't know, like it's an example, like 100 BNB private sale and then 600 BNB pre-sale. And when you're launching, your liquidity is going to be a percentage of the pre-sale. So let's say 60, 70% of pre-sale. So it's not that important to have any liquidity from private sale because it's a small percentage. But when you have two big chunks, you know, private sale plus pre-sale, and the liquidity is only, so basically my question is, the liquidity is only, it's less than 50% of these two combined. So what will the funds raised for private sale and pre-sale be used for?
Well, the funds for private sale was to finish up development and in large part the marketing push. The pre-sale funds are strictly for liquidity for the most part. Very little is being held back. So like I said, 800 BNB max, 300 to 350 BNB liquidity pools is what we're looking at. Those numbers haven't been nailed down firmly yet. I still got a meeting with the team tonight at 1800 or 6 o'clock this evening. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now as far as liquidity pools. But you got to understand too is I'm not a one and done. Utility ain't stopping. So we're about 85 to 90% on Utility 3. Utility 4 is about 70% right now, which will be released about every 60 days. So just nonstop.
Okay, and since you had that private sale, you started it how long ago?
The private sale started in late August. The development started on a token on the 8th of January of this year.
All right, so since it's all out of pocket,
for the most part.
So you guys would basically probably use some of these funds to pay yourself back.
Not at all. Not yet. Nope. I like I said, when this thing starts taking off and I call this thing a win, I'll worry about myself then. I have not moved any funds, and that's one of the things about the VIP group. They've got all the wallet addresses. They can see all the money. They can see where it's moved. So they got the peek. I guess you can see the peek behind the curtain. They will all be public addresses. It has not been made public yet. But to my private sale investors, those that have put the money up already, they got the view of everything. They can see where everything's going and what everything's done. I've been very transparent. It's one of the 3 T's for the platform: truth, trust, and transparency. So I'm big on that. And if they ever have any questions, of course, it's going to be first and foremost answered to them.
Okay. Is there like do you have like a ballpark cost estimate of how much has been spent on development and how much it will cost to get 100% at least of the first couple of utilities out? Basically the platform, the smart contracts, everything that's required to do, what we discussed so far, basically, putting the token up,
Nah, man, it would make my wife mad if I tried to add those numbers up, but I would say ballpark 80 to 120K, roughly.
Really?
Yeah.
But what does it really involve? Because to me, it seems just more like a UI thing, like a DeFi, some smart contracts to control all those things. Or is there, or am I not really seeing?
I don't think
Because
you're
like a
really
launch
seeing it.
pad.
So there's a total of 3 rewards distributors right now, and a total of 7 total contracts talking to themselves. I mean, the third party audit was a nightmare. I got it, but and you got to understand too is my dev team's a team of pretty much auditors, so they see these nefarious codes all the time. I don't know if you remember, not too long ago, not Pink Cell, but Pancake had their little tiff with CertiK. Wrapped around an audit, and they didn't agree with what was found or wasn't found. So my lead auditor or my lead dev was the one that went in behind and found the 15 infractions that CertiK missed. So I have a spot on dev team. They're just phenomenal. And like I said, I'm not rushing anything. So everything goes through a 3-phase testing process, which probably requires a little bit more than what most people would do. But we test everything on a 3-phase system before it's even ready to be shown to anyone, to include my VIP advisory council, before it's ready for prime time.
Okay, all right. Honestly, I do like the distribution. It's not something crazy where I like immediately laugh at it when you have like 5% pre-sale and like 60% lock tokens for project or for like staking. Then you know what's going to happen in those projects like that. It's going to be a big dump fest, because when the investors are not getting most of the tokens.
Absolutely. That whole, if you're not first in, you're the last out. That's not fair across the board. I even tried to make the whitelist. If you look at the ratio between whitelist and launch, I think it's a 30 billion difference, 320 to 350 billion per BNB. I mean, the biggest difference there is tax. The magic number to get to is to 500 billion if you're wanting to hold. That's going to get you pretty much open to all funds. But I mean, a large portion of the $3 in BNB goes to the rewards bucket for using the portal, whether you're soft staking or whether you're selling or trading. The 10 million master key tokens spent for any function, whether you're buying, selling, or soft staking, is all burnt. So the value of master key is going to go through the roof faster than any other passive income token out there. 75% of the revenue from merchandise goes to it. The rewards distributor that pays out daily. If you got over 500 billion, that's 35% of the distributor daily. To include the distributor paying itself. Another question I'm often asked is, okay, that's 35%, but what's going on with the other 65%? That's a damn good question. But I'm trying to build internal liquidity to back the marketplace. So if something like it just happened to Reward Miner was to go down, I've got those funds set aside to fully back it. Does that make sense? Because my portal is not an established pool. It is just that, a portal. But I would like to give my holders the firm sense of mind that, hey, if something nefarious was to go down, hey, we got it backed. I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that you're not hurt at all throughout this process.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, let's go move on to the last topic I want to discuss, at least as of now, and that's the soft staking, the utility. Number 2. So one thing is, you basically just by holding tokens, you're going to be getting reflections, right? 10% BUSD, and or you have to stake them to get those reflections. So this 10% BUSD rewards, is it just for holding, or you have to be staking the tokens to get these rewards?
I don't understand your question, to be honest with you.
Well, because you have staking and also you have the BUSD rewards, right?
Yes.
So my question is, you got 2 separate things, and some projects basically they don't give you the rewards unless you also stake. So that's my question. So for just the rewards part of it, you don't have to stake, right?
You don't have to utilize the portal at all or any of the utilities to receive rewards from Master Key. You can be
just by holding.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So what about the staking? Can you tell us a little bit about that? About the
so the soft staking is just that. You can put any token that's authorized to be in the portal. You can put any token that's authorized in the portal up for staking. No penalty, no minimum, no maximum. You can do it for 1 day. You can do it for 300. I don't care. I'm going to give you a 1-to-1 match not to exceed 10 million. The same fees to get in and get out, that flat rate fee that keeps me out of trouble with the boss. So $3 worth of BNB, the 10 million. As long as think of it as a pawn shop or a flea market. I'm selling you the table. I don't care what you put on it or for how long it's on there or what you're asking for it. The only difference with soft staking as opposed to selling or trading is there's no bounty and no asking price. That's just a contract that you're going in. You say, hey, I'm going to hold on to this token forever. I might as well get a little master key while I'm doing it. Pay your $3, put it in there with your 10 million master key. I'm going to burn the 10 million. Within one day, you've already got your 10 million back if you did a 10 million or more on your tokens. Let it stay in there as long as you want. When you pull it out, you've got those master key and the rewards that come with it. Now, while those master keys are being rewarded in the portal, those rewards are going to the rewards distributor to get paid out to everybody. Once you pull it out, those rewards are then yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the 10 million, is this the one-time thing that I'm getting?
No.
One-time payment?
No. So for the soft staking, it's a 1-to-1 match, not to exceed 10 million a day. So if you put in 10 million, you're going to get 10 million every single day on the rebasing hour until you decide to pull it out.
Oh, but it's a 1-to-1 match of some other token I put in, right?
Well, whichever token you put in. Let's say you put token X in for soft staking. Let's say you put 30 million of them in there. Only 10 million of them is going to get a reward because the max is 1-to-1 to 10 million. Does that make sense?
So if I put in 30 million token X, I will get 10 million of rewards token. Master key.
Every single day until you decide to pull it out.
So wouldn't it make sense to put in some real cheap tokens? Or I could just get 10 million for like $1.
The idea is I want you to utilize it for soft staking as long as it's authorized to be inside the portal. There's going to be cheap options in there. You're absolutely right. Because the tokens that are in the portal are paying everybody.
Okay. So if let's say 1,000 people put in some tokens, they're going to get the staking, the 10 million and 10 million a day. And let's go back to here. Wouldn't that drain this soft staking supply fairly quickly?
No, not by our algorithms. That would be pretty significant. I mean, it's 150 trillion tokens in there. So no, not significant. Plus, it's sustained through the 1% buy and sell taxation. No, I don't see that at all. There's no possible way that it would drain it that fast.
Okay. Yeah, because I just kind of did the calculation in my head, and 10 million tokens is not really that much at all.
It really
right?
Isn't.
It's like $1 or something. I don't even know.
It really isn't that much at all. But it will grow over time to be significant.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the questions I have. And you said there's going to be more utilities, more use cases coming out later, right? To help generate them.
For February, May, and August right now.
Okay, perfect. So now I want to open to the community for questions.
Absolutely.
Does anyone have any questions, guys?
I wanted to ask, why is the whitelist minimum 1 BNB? Didn't you consider the average investor to invest in your pre-sale?
Is he asking me why the minimum was 1 BNB?
Yeah, because he said, did you consider the average investor? Because a lot of people do not have 1 BNB to risk per project.
Well, there's only 400 available whitelists. And they're going pretty quick. So yeah, 1 BNB is going to be the minimum on the whitelist. Once the whitelists are gone and it launches, there is no minimum, no maximum. Have at it.
Did you also consider that based on statistics, roughly 1/3 to 1/5 of the whitelist actually contribute?
Yeah, so I mean, to max out the whitelist, 185 people can do that. It's a fairly low hard cap, so that could easily be done. So I basically
that's what they all do a maximum contribution.
They all did max. You're absolutely right. So I really just said, okay, If everybody bought 2, what would that put me at? Well, that's 400. So that's why I went with 400. Some will max
Yeah,
out.
but
Several of them have reached out to me to max out. And
I
I think
mean, that's
with the
true. There's people that will want to do like 3, 4 max wallets if they can. But if you think about it, especially with this market conditions, most guys are not that enthusiastic about risking 2, 3, 4 BNB
oh,
just
that's
for one
fine. And
project.
I'm not trying to twist most guys' arms. I mean, it's the benefits there. This thing's really going to take off. I did try to make it interesting by throwing the 1,000 BUSD rewards at it. But hey, it's you got to buy a lottery ticket to win. Can't just walk around with your hand out. So it's going to be a 1 BNB to get into the whitelist, max 5. If you buy 2 or more, you qualify for one of those $1,000 prizes. If you buy 3 or more, you qualify for 2. And I'll be honest with you, not everybody's going to get in. It absolutely won't happen. There's only 400 positions, and you just did the math, right? 185 can max out. I would say a third will max. So where does that put us at?
Yeah, I would say a third probably will max too, but I also think 2/3 if you get whitelist, at least probably about a half to 2/3 won't contribute at all. Because many people get whitelist and then they either forget or they see the hype. A lot of it has to do with well, let's see what happens in the first 10 seconds. Is it filling? Is it instant filling? Is it going quick? It's
Absolutely
like
right.
FOMO, right?
Absolutely right. 100% agree.
Because I had times when I had like 3, 4 whitelists and I was like, okay, I want to put in maximum 5 BNB per wallet, put in my 20 BNB in. As soon as pre-sale started, I see 5 out of 1,000 BNB contributed. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna put any in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. Agree. Again, I agree and I concur.
And
One question,
I
right?
yeah.
Okay. Um, where is the whitelist going to hold? Because I didn't actually get where it's there. The
I
pre-sale.
didn't. I can't hear him.
Are you
Uh,
asking where the pre-sale is happening?
So the pre-sale will happen exclusively on Novation. I mean, you really
what
can't
is
beat their sell less contract. So exclusively on Novation be the pre-sale. Within 4 hours of hitting the hard cap, we will launch.
now? Do you think people trust innovation? Because these markets, I don't know, because most people are not used to new launch pads. Because most new launch pads struggle a lot to fill. So let's see how it goes. Because I don't know why don't you use maybe Pink Steel or Gem Pad or something?
Well, the problem with Pink Cell and the problem with Pancake is they're both notorious for hurting the holder, and they hurt the holder by hurting the platform. They're notorious for that. With Pink Cell, sell less, they don't hurt the chart at all. I'm sorry, Novation sell less, they don't hurt the chart at all. They're fair to the platform, and I'll be honest with you, I think that's the way of the future. That's the way things are going to happen and the way they're going to go. We're going to see a significant shakeup in this region of DeFi from the Novation Sell Less platform, one that's going to really shake Pancake Swap to the core. As far as Pink Cell, I mean, you can look at any platform. You can tell the strength of the platform by its holders base. Pink Cell don't have a holders base. They just dominate the market. And that doesn't give you the reason to use something. Fact of the matter is, they'll dump 2% of your opening balance right out launch. They do a terrible job at marketing, and it's not really fair. It's had more scams involved in it than anything. Novation doesn't have any of those problems. They don't dump your chart. It's very fair, and it allows the platform to have control. That's why we chose Novation.
And how many pre-sales has Innovation done so far?
I think 4. Don't quote me on that. I'm not in charge of Novation.
Do you know
I'd
roughly
have
if
to ask
they're
Chris. I have no
successful?
idea.
Just kind of like a rough idea how they were successful, all successful, or at least one.
I think 3 of the 4 have been very successful. I'm not going to say the one was unsuccessful, but hey, that's on the platform, right? They got to be able to carry the water.
Exactly. I mean, it all depends on the devs too. It's kind of like with the AMA.
Absolutely.
It's like if you can't sell it, then don't blame us for not investing.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, perfect. I think let me see if there's any other questions. I think I've seen some in chat. Oh, about the upcoming utilities. I kind of answered it for him. I said it's basically a secret, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, we will. Here's the deal. I will constantly under promise and over deliver. That's my promise to my community. I'm not going to give you a timeline that's never met. That they're always punting it or dangling the carrot, more smoke and mirror Ponzi scheme tactics. I'm going to tell you when it's time to tell you because it's coming. But my VIP advisory council already knows the next 3 utilities coming and the percentage of completion that they're at. But you know that's the conversation that's being had with them. But rest assured, development has not stopped or even slowed down just because of launch. A launch is a stepping stone for where this thing's going. It's going to be pretty powerful and pretty significant. We're set up for Web3 integration, and with the cross branch, when somebody actually figures that out fully, we're set up for that as well. So we're pretty excited about everything.
All right, any more questions, guys?
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah. How's it going, Rachel?
Yeah, my thing is well. So I actually have a question about your reward. Your 10, I think 10%, yeah, 10% that will be in BUSD. So
Yeah.
this will like be going to your holders, your token holders, if I'm
Yes, all rewards will be paid in BUSD.
okay, so it will be paid in BUSD, right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay. Okay, so no, like the contract sale usually impacts the charts. I mean, this kind of thing usually impacts the charts more than when holders sell their token. Like, okay, let me read out the way I wrote my question so that we can both understand. So I see that 10% of 10% reward that will be going to holders is in BUSD, which will mean selling tokens into BUSD. Like you have to sell the token into BUSD. So this contract sale usually impacts the chart more than investors' reward in tokens and its sale. So how do you mitigate continuously sales of the token into BUSD without affecting the chart?
I could answer the question. I don't know, Jay, if you understood her
I can't
question.
hear, man. I held the phone up and everything. I couldn't hear.
Okay, so basically she's saying is how can it be sellless chart if you have to sell your tokens to get BUSD rewards? And
So
I had
basically,
this
how
discussion.
the through Novation works.
Yeah, basically, I could explain it
Yeah, go ahead.
in this way. When you do a standard sell on a standard, regular BSC, Pancake Swap, whatever project, what happens is, let's say this tax is 20%. When I sell, I'm only selling 20%, 80% of my tokens, okay? So the chart is going to be basically getting 80% sell pressure for my tokens, and the other 20% of my tokens are going to the contract. And then when the contract gets filled with tokens, the threshold is met, it's going to sell all those tokens all at once. So then you get your 100% of the sell. The sellless way, the way I understand it, it sells all 100% at once. So there's no difference in sell pressure. The difference is it coming right away when I'm selling my tokens, or Or is it going to be less a little bit now, but later on the contract's going to have to sell all those tokens that it accumulated?
Okay,
But
so
either
because
way,
of the
those tokens will be
I think
sold.
you're wrong.
Really, I mean,
okay,
the sell less.
I think I
So
understand
it's
you.
the BNB's
But
taxed going in, not taxing the tokens going out. So you're right on Pancake. If you buy $100 worth, you're getting $80 worth, $20 sent to the platform, put in different buckets. It's got to be sold off later to pay bills. With the sell less, they tax the $100 in BNB going in. You still get $80 worth of tokens, but the platform is paid in $20 in BNB and not tokens, which does not require a sell off. That's the big difference.
Exactly.
Okay,
okay, so
so let's say I'm selling 100 tokens, right? Let's say
mhm.
100 tokens, I'm getting 1 BNB for it. So can you explain what's going to be showing on the chart?
Now for sales, there's no difference between Pancake. That will be executed simultaneously the same way. There's no other way around that. Strictly for buys is the other way. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, because I thought for the sellers, when you're actually selling, it goes directly to the chart right away, like all 100%. But it's basically it's using the whole thing like the standard method with the BSC, right? What is gonna withhold some of the tokens in the contract, and the contract will be activated, a liquidity swap, whatever it is, whatever they call it, and then it's gonna sell.
Yeah, because there are, and I think we're saying the same thing, but there are certain functions and certain platforms that will require tokens versus BNB. For instance, for me, when I do the sell less, if they sent me $20 in BNB, I've got to take that BNB and then buy tokens to feed liquidity, to feed the staking pool, for buyback and burn, all those functionalities that require tokens versus BNB. Does that make
Yeah, but
sense?
you said, can you go over again the buy part of it? Because that's the part I didn't really,
Yeah. So
talk about.
in layman's terms, let's say if you're on Pancake and you buy $100 worth of tokens, $20 worth at 20% tax, $20 worth of those tokens are sent to the platform to be 10%
So later, yeah.
converted into BUSD. They might go into different buckets with different triggers. Hey, buyback burn, I'll execute at 50.2 billion, whatever the hell it is, and whatever bucket it is, it's got all those actions. But every one of those actions require a sell off in order to get tangible funds to pay bills. We know that. We know how Pancake works. Well, in the sell less, the same transaction, the holder sees no difference. They pay $100, they get $80 worth of tokens. But instead of the platform being sent $20 worth of tokens, they're sent $20 in BNB. Now the only or the only chart impacts are positive. I didn't get sent tokens. They held on to the $20 in BNB, sent it directly to me, only bought $80 worth of tokens, sent to the individual who bought. So now,
Exactly.
in order for me to do the liquidity, staking pools, buyback burn, the ones that require tokens, now I have to buy those tokens, which is still a positive chart impact.
All right, so if I'm buying, let's say I'm buying $100 worth of tokens, 100 tokens, so $1 per token, 20% tax, I'm gonna get 80 tokens, right?
Absolutely.
And $20 is gonna go to the platform. $80 in BNB is gonna go to liquidity, but I'm only gonna get 80 tokens.
Yeah,
So that $20 is gonna go to the platform. So that means
so on a sell less, it is the platform's responsibility to back liquidity. The sell less
yes.
itself won't do it.
So basically, only 80 tokens are going to be transferred at all. It won't be 100 because it's like they're only getting 80 anyways. And it's just skipping liquidity going directly to the wallet. So what that really translates to, when someone's selling, there'll be less sell pressure, I guess, because those tokens don't have to be sold. But the pump is weaker.
I
So
would say the pump may be weaker. I agree to that, but it's sustained.
yeah, but a lot of times the pump is not the problem, right? It's usually an issue when someone's selling.
Absolutely right.
I
Absolutely.
mean, I'd rather have a slower pump in a lot of cases anyway,
Absolutely right, man. Show me cat's teeth all day long. That's what I want to see. You're absolutely right.
All right, any more questions? Yeah, but I do agree. Like, I'd rather have like, especially when you do a launch and projects pump like 10x because someone snipes. I prefer to like have a lower snipe because then you have a lot of guys buying the top and being, at a loss because the sniper snipes and then sells immediately. And you think you're buying the floor, but you're literally buying the top for like at least like a week or so. Let's say some projects don't even never even reach the all-time high of the
Totally
first
agree.
snipe. So
Totally agree.
actually having a lower pump is actually going to help the people at launch get a better price.
And being available everywhere was key. We'll probably consolidate our liquidity pool 5-6 months down the road under novation. We're in those talks right now with our VIP advisory council, but you really can't beat the benefit. But being available everywhere at launch, I think, is critical too. That was like a 30-day discussion with my advisory council until we nailed that to the wall, and that's what we came to.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Any more questions, guys? By the way, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything that we haven't discussed yet?
Hey, if you're interested, if you got more questions, by all means, come check us out. We're on every single social, I think, that's available. Hell, we're even on TikTok. So come check us out, see what we got, read our white paper. The website's getting a relook applied to it right now. It's going to be hot off the presses just before launch on the 10th. Utilities will be live at launch, like I said, like I promised. It's going through testing right now. Some great things to come. It's going to be a phenomenal ride. If you're one of the 10 from this AMA who wants to get over there and say, hey, I'm from Anti-Rug, I'd like a whitelist spot. Hey, the first 10 will get one. I can't do more than 10. These things are too sought after, but if you want one and you really want to get over and say that, by all means, please do. If you think you're a serious investor, hit me in the DM. We'll talk. And if you pass the questionnaire, if you will, and I feel that you're a legit player, I'll offer you a private sale slot. So that's kind of where we're at in this snapshot in time. We're just 12 days out, so this thing's really starting to get ramped up.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, guys, private sale is 5 BNB, and I'm sure these market conditions, not many could afford. Not that they can't afford the actual 5 BNB, but the 5 BNB risk, per project. So definitely private sale, and there's also the whitelist spots for pre-sale. What I would suggest, everyone go join the group right now, and especially if you want to get a whitelist spot, because whitelist pre-sale I would say is safer because you only need to put 1 BNB, right? That's the minimum, and you don't have any vesting. Private sale is going to be vested for 60 days.
6 months.
6 months, okay, 6 months.
Now with the
But you will be
whitelist,
getting big reflections from that.
absolutely. Reflections.
And if the 10 spots don't fill, and later on someone sees this AMA, because I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and a lot of people watch it later on. So if they want to get a whitelist, hit me up. It'll be first come, first serve.
Absolutely. And by all means, come by the platform too. My team's pretty good to you. They might make a game out of it and ask you a question or something, but we're trying to have fun and trying to give these whitelist slots. I don't want somebody to have 5 whitelist slots. Hell, I don't want somebody to have 2. I want to spread the wealth and really put it out there. We've gone above and beyond to make sure there was nobody that could significantly impact the chart. I mean, team tokens are locked indefinitely, and that's our primary source of revenue. The largest wallet at launch will be 3 trill. Nobody will be more than that. So, I mean, we've gone above and beyond to really keep the major players out. I've had to tell a couple of guys from, the big companies down south that hey, I absolutely will sell you a private sale slot, but I'm not going to sell you all of them. So really having those discussions and everybody understanding that I'm doing my best to spread this peanut butter as thin as I can get it. And if you want a piece of it, come get a piece. There's opportunities for everybody. But if you want a chance at one of those $1,000 rewards at launch on the white list, you got to buy 2 BNB or more. If you don't or can't, if you don't get a whitelist slot or you can't afford the 2 BNB or more, don't worry about it. At launch, we're giving away 5 $1,000 BUSD rewards in the first 24 hours of launch to somebody who bought in the first 24 hours. So come roll the dice, have fun doing it. It's going to be a heck of an investment. You'll thank me later, I promise, but come check us out.
Yeah, thanks. By the way, one more question: is there going to be? I mean, I don't think so because I don't think you guys have that mechanism. But is there going to be anything like Reward Miner did with like some kind of pump? But they basically had packages that they sold for a certain amount of BNB that they actually used those BNB to buy back the launch immediately, right? So basically like instant 2x. You guys are not doing anything similar to that, right?
So no, that's one of the beauties about launching on Novation and execute it there. So my price tag for doing that on Novation is 6.5 trillion tokens and 16 BNB, which is vested for 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, I'm offered the opportunity to buy that back. If I choose not to buy it back, it's divided amongst their VIP community of about 60, I think. At which time they can choose to sell it or keep it. So,
basically, if the value is lower, then you don't buy it back. If it actually went up like 10 or 20x, you can still buy it back for the original price, or basically what the value is at that time.
At current market value.
Okay.
So, but it's not a sell-off, if that makes sense. And
yeah.
We divided amongst. I think it's around 60 to 90. I'm not 100% sure, but it's divided amongst those holders. And the chances of them all selling off is probably pretty slim. But it's not a platform function of a sell-off like Pink Cell would do. So it's pretty significant. I don't know. I'll talk to the advisory community and see where they're at with the VIP guys. Right now, I'm probably more inclined to let those holders. I mean, it increases your holder strength, spreads that out a little bit. May make somebody want to grow their bag. And even then, a 6.5 trill sell-off is not going to do that much impact to a chart anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. And then, of course, the 16 BNB, the actual cost of the action, it is what it is. It's going to be done as that platform sees fit. I won't get that back.
Okay, perfect, awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah, Gabriel.
What will you do if you will not fill hard cap or soft cap? Like, do you have some strategy?
All right, I heard. What will you do? Can you feed the rest of that to me again?
What will you do if you will not fill the soft cap? Do you have some strategy?
If I don't fill the 800 BNB, is that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the whitelist got 3 minutes, and then I release it to the public. So it'll fill. I'm not worried about that. They'll have about 3 minutes. I'll release it to the public. Once it's hit, within 4 hours of hitting it, giving us time to drop the tokens where we need to drop them, then we'll launch.
No, but what will happen? Do you have some strategy if the soft cap will not be reached?
No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but you have to be prepared, right? Yeah, but I'm talking about being prepared, right?
I can't hear you, man. I'm trying my damnedest.
He thinks you should be prepared, but it definitely will hit that soft cap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but the thing is, we did see a lot of pre-sales that had really high hard caps for the market conditions, and they did not fill at all. And it's good projects, so it's definitely something that you want to think about.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Anything else, guys? Any more questions? All right, let's end it then. I know you already did like a little closing statement. Is there anything else you want to add before I end the recording?
No, come check us out. Don't miss the boat. We're going to be the big thing in 23.
All right, awesome. Yeah, 2023 because 2022 sucked.
It absolutely did.
Thanks, guys. Good AMA and very enjoyable, interesting, and good luck on the rest of the private sale and pre-sale. And remember, everyone here, that you guys want to get that whitelist, or even if you want to get a private sale, then you know what to do. Go in their group, and we'll see you guys all there.